Hello, welcome to the Stage 21 review. Now, in Stage 21, we add a new kind of participle. Already in Stage 20, at the end of Unit 2, we were doing present active participles. In Stage 21, we add the perfect passive participle. Like all participles, it's a verbal adjective. So that means it modifies a noun and it agrees with that noun in case, number, and gender, and it can be translated having been blanked. The perfect passive participle is the fourth principal part of the verb. Now, until stage 21, we learned verbs with three principal parts. Now we're adding in the fourth principal part. And most verbs do have four principal parts. So porto, I carry, portare, to carry, portavi, I carried or I have carried, and portatus, the new fourth principal part, the perfect passive participle, having been carried, right? Remember that the vowel here in the present infinitive tells us what conjugation the verb is. Porto is first conjugation, okay? The stem of the third principal part gives us the stem that we add the personal endings on for the perfect and pluperfect. And now the fourth principal part is our perfect passive participle. Dokeo, dokere, dokui, doctus. I teach, to teach. I taught or I have taught, having been taught. This is a second conjugation verb with that long E in the infinitive. Traho, trahere, traxi, tractus. I drag, to drag. I dragged or I have dragged, having been dragged. This is a third conjugation verb. And finally, audio, audire, audivi, auditus. I hear, to hear, I heard or I have heard, having been heard. This is a fourth conjugation verb with that long I. Now, conjugation matters a lot in things that are formed off those first and second principal parts, like the present indicative and the imperative and the infinitive and the imperfect, but it doesn't really matter for the third and fourth principal parts. When you learn a new verb, you just have to memorize what the third and fourth principal parts are. And the vocabulary checklists are here to help you. Most verbs are now going to come with four principal parts. So, Kalo, kalare, kalawi, kalatus, hide. You can see it's a first conjugation verb from that long I right there. And here's the fourth principal part, kalatus, having been hidden. You just have to memorize the principal parts. Efficio, efficere, effici, effectus. That's a third conjugation verb. You can tell by the short E. Effectus, that's the fourth principal part, having been accomplished. Okay? So, the perfect passive participle takes first and second declension endings. That fourth principal part is just the masculine singular nominative, but it has a full set of endings so it can modify a noun in any case, number, or gender. So, in the masculine, it's going to work like servus. In the feminine, it's going to work like puella. In the neuter, it's going to work like templum. So it takes second declension endings in the masculine and neuter, and first declension endings in the feminine. So here's the singular of the perfect passive participle of porto. So there's the fourth principal part there, portatus. And then portati, portato, portatum, portato. So it's working just like servus. In the neuter, it looks just the same as the masculine, except the nominative and accusative singular look just alike. And then in the feminine, it's working just like puella. If we look at the plural, same thing. In the masculine, it works just like servus, portati, portatorum, portatis, portatos, portatis. The neuter looks just the same as the masculine, except in the nominative and accusative singular, where it ends in short A. The feminine works just like puella. So there's the singular and plural next to each other. So like Servus in the masculine, like Puella in the feminine, like Templum in the neuter.